people. Good morning and welcome to this edition of the Lynn Hayes Freeland Show. We got a lot to do this morning. A little bit later in the program, a celebration of sorts. It's going to be homecoming at the University of Pittsburgh, but this is a very special homecoming because there's also going to be a recognition of the takeover of the computer lab. It's been 50 years since the Black Student Union had an uprising on the Pitt campus. That is going to make for a very special homecoming. Wait till you hear is going to be here for that. But we begin with another. This isn't really a celebration, but for the last 4 years, it's been a coming together at the Rodman Street Missionary Baptist Church, and it's a coming together of the community, the clergy, and the police. Here to talk about why this is also important and how this came into being is the Reverend Darrell Kennedy. He is the senior pastor at the Rodman Street Missionary Baptist Church, and our own Pittsburgh Police Chief, Scott Schubert. Welcome to you both.
Welcome. Thank you very much.
So I got to tell you, Reverend Kennedy, I mean, I say this is the 4th year for this. And when you started this 4 years ago, I think a lot of people kind of raised an eyebrow about this idea of bringing the church, the community, and law enforcement together in the same place. Now, 4 years later, obviously it worked.
It is an exciting time. We are trying to build relationships. We need the police need us, we need our community, and so we're trying to build those relationships.
So how do you grow it 4 years later?
Well, I think you have to be consistent with it. I think at one time, maybe some of the officers thought that it was going to be a bashing, but we showed them that it was not about bashing. It was about supporting and encouraging. And also people in the community who were weary or leery of police officers, they had an opportunity to see them in a different light.
So, Chief, rewind for me 4 years ago. How did the officers feel about this gathering where sometimes it's not always friendly?
Yeah, I think there was probably some, anxiety of not knowing. I mean, even at that time, to include myself.
Okay.
It started out with just Zone 5 and building the relationship with Commander Lando and the crew out there. But when you went and you saw it, it was unbelievable, and it made you want to keep coming because you have an opportunity to be at a service that you don't typically see with law enforcement and community, but the comments from people, the conversations afterwards, the incredible food that they provide every time too. I think it's something that I'm thankful that he put it together in the congregation, the support that they show law enforcement, and I think now it's continuing to grow by including fire, EMS, the 911 dispatchers, because we're all part of the community and we all got to work as one.
So now, and I want you both to answer this question. When you look back now on 4 years, what's changed? What have you seen the benefits?
Well, I think the relationships have changed. I think there's more trust on both sides.
Okay.
And we wanted to be very strategic and say justice on both sides, because oftentimes we don't look at policemen just as human beings. We look at them behind their badges and their uniforms, but they are husbands and wives and mothers and fathers, just like we are. And we wanted to see them in a different light so that we can begin to build those bridges.
And Chief, how about for you? When you look back over the last couple of years, what would you say has changed?
I think it's kind of the same thing that he was speaking of. When you look at it, you want people to not look at your badge or look at your patch. You want them to get to know who you are. And we can, on the police side, look at it as everybody as a victim, a witness, or an actor involved. That we're people. And if we really want our communities to be better and safer, we have to work together. And the best way of working together is building that trust. When you trust each other, I mean, you can call me at any time, or somebody at Zone 5 at any time, and you're going to get, because you know that person. And I think it's something that's awesome, and something that I look forward to every year. And it's not even just once a year, because there's other times that we're invited to the church to come to different events. They did something when Officer Hall was murdered. Did something for the family and for the officers and the medics and the 911 Tree of Life. I mean, there's been so many, and it's just something that means a lot to all of us.
And you know, it's interesting that you mention all of those events because in many ways, certainly the death of Officer Hall, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of Tree of Life. Those are incidents that cut across all lines. And sometimes we need, although tragic, we need things that cut across all lines to make us understand our commonalities.
Absolutely. And that's what we've been able to do. I think that's been most important for us to be able to show our commonality, and that we all are humans, and that we all have the same needs that everybody else has. So that's what's been so interesting about this.
All right, so you've got an event coming up this year. It's coming up in a few weeks, but I'm not going to let you mention it right now. We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, you can tell us all about it.
Thank you.
I'm going to make you stay. We'll be right back. Don't go away.